There are people trying to create fears around the country, around immigration. But the kind of fear-mongering, the kind of intolerance, the kind of misinformation that unfortunately is going on across the country and around the world is something that all of us have a responsibility to engage with in a positive and thoughtful way.
Tell me exactly when the Prime Minister says critics on immigration are, quote, fear-mongering. There's intolerance, there's fear, there's misinformation. Who's doing this fear-mongering? I'm trying to get an example. Why is it fear-mongering to ask how to stop tens of thousands of people from irregularly marching across the border? Whether they're families or not, a border is a border. What is fear-mongering about that? What is intolerant about that? Seriously, give me an example.
Can I tell you, Adam, that in my experience, fear is truly the greatest enemy of public safety. And when we become afraid of each other, then we become less safe.
That wasn't my question. My question was, who is the Prime Minister referring to? Who exactly is fear-mongering about the border? Who's intolerant? I just want to know. Who is it?
I think the Prime Minister is quite rightly reminding all Canadians that we are a country of immigrants and that when people come to our country seeking refuge, we uphold and apply Canadian law.
Look nobody's against immigration, and we have obligations for refugees and for asylum seekers. But how can you defend a border where you have tens of thousands of people walking across, and then it forces Canadians to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to process them to see if they belong here or in a safe third country like the United States? How can you defend that system as working when it clearly isn't?
Hey everyone, this is Leigh reporting for Press for Truth. Most Canadians today hold views about immigration and refugees that the current government considers xenophobic and racist. A poll done at the end of December 2018 shows 55% of Canadians want tighter border control. 57% agree immigration has placed too much pressure on social services like healthcare and education. 59% of Canadians believe the federal government is hiding the true cost of immigrations to taxpayers. 48% agree that there are terrorists pretending to be refugees to cause violence, and 47% agree that most foreigners that want to get into Canada are coming in for economic reasons and are not genuine refugees. It has been clear from Trudeau's public statements with the mainstream media to back him up that he believes more than half of us are un-Canadian, xenophobic, and racist. He forgot Nazi and bigot, but honestly, what else can we expect other than ad hominem attacks to silence an opinion that disagrees with him? What he actually means is, if you express your opposing view about immigration, you're fear-mongering. And if you're not advocating for globalism and a one-world government, well, you need to be silenced. Traditionally, Canada has been a country that welcomes refugees, but what we're seeing here is on a mass scale. By the year 2031, Ahmed Hussein says that 100% of Canada's population growth will be as a result of immigration. The UN Refugee Agency reported unprecedented levels of refugees in 2017. Canada will be welcoming 3% of its population over the next 3 years. And this doesn't include the steady stream of illegals entering at Roxham Road. Speaking of Roxham Road, reports are just emerging about a woman who has been charged by the CBSA for organizing illegal entry into Canada. Just last week, Justin Trudeau addressed what he believes to be fear-mongering about immigration during his town hall in New Brunswick. He cautioned voters about people who are anti-immigration. He said there are people creating fear, intolerance, and misinformation about immigration across Canada, and said that citizens have a responsibility to engage with these ideas in a positive and thoughtful way.
And that is one of the things that yet again we're going to be talking about in this upcoming election, because there are people trying to create fears around the country, around immigration. And we have to be true to ourselves as a country. But the kind of fear-mongering, the kind of intolerance, the kind of misinformation that unfortunately is going on across the country and around the world is something that all of us have a responsibility to engage with in a positive and thoughtful way.
What Trudeau didn't mention at his town hall was a few headlines that made news this week. A Somalian-born refugee who migrated to Canada was arrested for helping carry out a terrorist attack in a hotel in Kenya, which killed 21 people. Al-Shabaab, a terrorist group linked to Al-Qaeda, has claimed responsibility. A person of national security concern was accidentally granted permanent residency in Canada due to a series of failures by the CBSA and Immigration Department. And let's be honest here, this is probably more common than what we are told. And last but not least, the RCMP charged a youth in Kingston with trying to get someone to plant a bomb which involved a Syrian refugee. And conveniently, when the mainstream media published an article about this, they were sure to include a paragraph about thwarting people people and their unnecessary concern about Canada's immigration system. But here's the thing, we have a justified reason for concern. A 2017 CBSA audit found potential security threats weren't identified due to a lack of screening. 39 Syrian refugees should have undergone comprehensive security screenings, but didn't. Clearly, Canada's immigration vetting process needs to be seriously looked at. Asking questions and talking about issues surrounding Canada's immigration problem is not racist. It's not xenophobic. It's holding the government accountable for the one thing they should be responsible about. The truth is, the agenda at play here is globalism. Tell me, who are you more concerned about? Someone who is exposing the inconsistencies in Canada's immigration system, or the unvetted that's streaming through Canada's open border? Thank you so much for watching, and if you like what we do, please consider donating at pressfortruth.ca/donate, or become a PFT member. You can always find links in the description below. I'll see you next time. This is Leigh, reporting for Press for Truth.